Alright, Shalom. I'm the brother Tasiyat coming back with another video. But before I start off, I would like to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Makakadash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the sincere Akiam across this world who are spreading this knowledge and truth and their sincerity. And Shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening. And may the election be upon your households. God Shalom. So yeah, man, as you can see the title, I want to make a video about our ancestor Jacob, who got his name changed to the name Israel. Okay, so sometimes you hear us say Jacob, sometimes you hear us say Jakes, sometimes you hear us say Israelites, but Jacob, Israel, they are both the same person. All right. Sometimes you hear us say Jakes, like I said, we say that instead of Jacob descendants or Israelites, we say Jakes, But with that we mean, our people, the nation of Israel. So where did it happen that Jacob's name was changed into Israel? It happened all the way in the book of Genesis, as he was wrestling with an angel. And yesterday, the Day of Atonement, I was studying with one of the brothers. And at the end of the study, we was talking about the name Israel, where it came from. And then we dove a bit into these scriptures, man. So it's very important to know how we come to call ourselves Israelites, okay? Because we are literally the seed of a man who was named Israel, and therefore we are Israelites. We are his seed line, his bloodline, But before, he was not called Israel; he was called Jacob, and in the Hebrew, it's not Jacob but Yaakov, okay, which means supplanter. Okay, supplanter, as in he's very, like you can have certain cunning ways, not wicked but cunning, certain ways to get what you want, say things in a certain manner to somebody to persuade them, like what our ancestor did to his twin brother Jacob, to his twin brother Esau. Okay, he sold. He gave a parcel of meat to Esau, and Esau was so hungry, so he didn't care that the meat was not ready yet. It was still red, medium rare. That's why these so-called white people, which are the Edomites, they come from the forefather Esau, where they eat medium rare steak until this day and shit. They like it like that. But Jacob, was supplanting Esau by saying like, okay, I see you're hungry. Esau was like, hey man, I just came from hunting, and I'm very hungry, man. I see you cooking that food, man. Give me something of it. Jacob said like, nah, it's not done yet, man. Esau was like, I don't care, man. Give me it. I'm hungry. Jacob was smart, so he took advantage. He was like, okay, sell me your birthright, and then you get this portion of meat. And Esau was like, take my birthright, man. What is it worth to me, So he took the birthright of Esau and swapped it for that portion of meat, which was not even cooked, well done yet. So that is supplanting. And Esau until this day is still angry that we have his birthright. Meanwhile, he sold it to us for a portion of meat. Showing you he didn't care about his birthright, man. All right. So ultimately, of course, it was the will of the Heavenly Father that it was going to play out like this. You know what I'm saying? So, going back, the name Jacob is in the Hebrew Yaakov, which means supplanter. All right? And later his name was changed into Israel, but really in the Hebrew you say Yashar Allah. And that means he is a prince of God. Okay? Literally, Yashar Allah. Ya means he, Shar means prince, and Allah means God. So he Prince God. He's a prince of God. That is what his name means. We call ourselves Israelites. Ite at the end. Meaning that we are descendants. of the man who was named Israel. So we're gonna read a story where his name was changed into Israel. So Genesis 32, verse 22. And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 woman servants and his 11 sons and passed over the ford Jabbok. And he took them and sent them over the brook and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone. And there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. So they was wrestling the whole day with each other. It says man, but later you gotta understand that it's actually an angel from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And if you don't know what wrestling is, is a form of fighting. It's a form of fighting. So when you try to take your opponent down, okay, without striking, without punching each other. Okay. So it says, verse 25, and when he saw that he prevailed not against him, so the angel saw that he was not winning against our ancestor Jacob. And you have to imagine, an angel is very strong, man. The Most High can give an angel the power to destroy the whole earth by himself. And our ancestor Jacob was wrestling with him, and the angel could not win this wrestling match. And they was wrestling for hours, man, to the breaking of the day. Me myself, I also do some I do grappling, which the word wrestling in the Hebrew also goes to grappling, and that is, in the Dutch we say like suya, so that's a form of fighting. And after a few rounds of a few minutes, you feel already tired, man, exhausted. But they was wrestling for hours, to the breaking of the day, showing you how strong he was. All right. So again, Genesis 32, verse 25. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. So the angel was like, you know what, I can't win from him. So he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh, so his hip, and his hip got out of joint, man. So during wrestling, his hip was out of joint. So it says here, so Salakia, let me see here. Verse 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. So the angel was like, hey, let me go, man. It's enough now. We were wrestling the whole day. Let me go, man. And he said, so our ancestor Jacob said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. So Jacob would not let the angel go until he got a blessing from the angel. All right? So, verse 27. And he said unto him, and of course the blessing comes from the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. So in the Hebrew, Yaakov. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and has prevailed. Like I said, the name Israel in the Hebrew is Yashar Allah, which means he is a prince of God. Like it says here, he's a prince of God. Okay? And has prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. So Jacob is now asking the name of the angel, and this is where a lot of people get confused, because the angel never told his name. People have some weird breakdowns that they know the name of the angel, that it was Penuel or Peniel, but that's not the case, but the angel didn't tell his name. All right? So it says here, and Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. So the angel's like, why do you want to know my name? And he just blessed him. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou ask after my name? Salakia, and he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. Now people think that he named he got the name from the angel, and the angel's name is. He called the name of the called, and it says, "For I have seen God face to face." He didn't see the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yashai, but he saw a representative of the Most High, which is the angel. Okay, the angels are messengers of the Lord, also. So just to get it out there, man. So hey, hope this edifying. Want to give our praises and highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Makakadash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akiyam across this world who are spreading this knowledge and truth and sincerity. And shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening. And may the election be upon your households. God shalom.